This one I more so wanted to look at. I don't know if this is a mod or it's customized. This looks cool. I just wanted to show it off real quick, show this person's hard work. This actually genuinely looks cool. If this was a real thing up for sale, I would buy it, bro. I would really fucking buy it. Kill screen, there you go. Scan that. This looks hard. I just wanted to show it off on stream real quick. That looks hard. And I wonder if they took an actual, first off it's sideways. I wonder if they took an actual C stick and put it there or not. Oh, they even got the red. No, this should be green. This should be red. Damn. Anatomically incorrect PlayStation 5 GameCube controller. That being said, what did I have next? Oh, with that being said, let's go from PlayStation to Xbox. After reports that an Xbox exec said, quote, "Nobody cares about Banjo-Kazooie." He's correcting the record. I absolutely know how much Banjo-Kazooie means to our fans. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I don't know if I saved it. Did I? Nope. I saved the article about it, but not the fucking tweet that I saw. Stupid. But oh no, this article short as shit. Nope. Ain't nothing in it. Oh, is this the original tweet? This original Xeed he said it in? Sarcasm lost in translation. Okay, so it was some sarcasm left in translation, but the thing I saw that made this funny is somebody was like, if nobody cares about Banjo-Kazooie, why would you buy the Banjo-Kazooie studio? Number one. Number two, where the fuck did you even get that? But let's read on. Where is the quote? Where is the quote? Current publisher since 2008, and that fucking flopping bolts don't count. Launched on a 360 main when the series is basically explaining the history behind what happened. Okay, so this is a nothing burger. I thought there was gonna be something to talk about here, but let's skim on. Current publisher Xbox Studios, blah 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 blah. The series in any case, Greenberg. Okay, yeah, that is a nothing burger. I opened that shit for nothing, but one thing I did open for something is this next article. Activision says it wants to catch and remove Call of Duty cheaters within 1 hour of them being in their first match. I say y'all should be able to detect them and their anti-cheat before they get into a match. Cause within 1 hour, that means they have 60 minutes to fuck up somebody fun. It's a very long time. They could play, like if this is the case and it catches them within 1 hour, they could play for 59 minutes and cut it off and they'll be good. That's still within the hour. So you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We'll read on and see, but I don't know. This feels fucked. Let me take a sip of some water real quick. Gotta get myself hydrated. If you sitting there watching this and you a dehydrated pimple faced bitch, I'm gonna need you to do yourself a favor. Get up, go grab some of this liquid that been through somebody's penis that God put on this earth for us to drink, called water. Lubricate your fucking organs. It don't matter if you believe water's wet or you're a dumbass and you believe water wets things. It's gonna keep your organs nice and lubricated, so when you breathe in and out, your lungs don't sound like a piece of paper being crushed and rubbed against the wall. Water's busting, bro. Water's busting. Y'all need to drink some more. If you ain't drinking water, honestly, what the fuck is you doing? Paper organ filling ass bitch. Niggas that don't drink water, they breathe in and out and they organs smell like sound like origami. Nigga go and feel like somebody just did a paper crane. Niggas go and they fucking lungs sound like the logo of Heavy Rain. No water drinking ass bitches. Go get up and get you a cup of agua. Nigga, go bebe some agua, bitch. Anyway, Activision said in a blog post that they're, quote, fighting cheats today on the client where illicit programs are activated is a little like battling on a bad guy's home turf. It is their machine and their code. That is a fact. That is the reason why for the longest it's been very, very hard for people to fight anti-cheat, because number one, like they said, it's on their PC. And even I see the word kernel, which reminds me, kernel level anti-cheats don't even fucking help, because people can still get around that. Excuse me. Also, Call of Duty is a large franchise, so the same thing I said, and I will say about any large franchise, it doesn't matter how good your anti-cheat is. In a case of Activision, the shit is just non-existent. But even if you did have good anti-cheat, there's always going to be some talented individual within your community that's more talented than your good anti-cheat. Kernel-based drivers on PC have enhanced anti-cheats reach. Yeah, they enhanced some bullshit. But cheaters are already offering cheats that go beyond the kernel, even going as far to utilize special PC hardware that is designed in time. See what I mean? There will always be somebody talented enough to outthink you and your ability to plan things. I'm looking at these chopsticks. I thought there was mold on them. Thought these bitches was lunch leaves, but we'll get to that when we get to that. That, and there's stuff like the, excuse my cute little doggo snoring in the back, but there's stuff like Zens and stuff like that, which for those of y'all who don't know, those are literal cheating devices that you can buy from like GameStop, Amazon, whatever, that people use to cheat in different games. There's always been stuff like that. Even if you go back to like the 80s and 90s or whatever the fuck, back when consoles used to be cartridge based, there used to be things like Game Genie. It was Game Genie. It was either Game Genie or Game Shark. I remember one was something Genie and then the other one was Game Shark. Let me look. I think it's Game Shark now. Oh wait, I never turned my keyboard back on. Malugines. Alright. Game. I accidentally pressed caps. Yeah, so back in the day, let me pull up some images. You see these? Back in the day, like in the 90s, 80s or whatever, on older consoles like the N64 and stuff like that. And by the way, I learned about this from one of my OGs, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know exactly. I had to do this through first-hand experience. Bitch, I had emulators. But there was this thing called a Game Shark, and what you could do is whenever you get a magazine, the magazines would have codes for the Game Shark. You would enter the code and it would allow you to do different cheats and stuff like that in a game. And even as you can see on the front of it, it says for the Nintendo 64 game system, Game Sharks. You used to be able to buy one of these bitches for like what, $20? I know it wasn't expensive. Price in the 90s. There isn't much info about the price of a Game Shark in the 1990s. And still had an extra $20. It fucked me. Okay, I can't see. Oh wait, game price. No, that's game prices. My dumb ass. I just know it wasn't expensive. All right. In the 90s or whatever, you could buy one of them bitches. You could buy one of these bitches for like $20, and you could add cheats, hacks, whatever to your favorite games. Basically, ROM hack your favorite games and shit like that. So cheating devices, I just wanted to like point that out to emphasize. And as you even saw up there, there was something about Game Boy, Game Sharks. Cheating devices are nothing new. But as a developer, it's hard to tell when somebody's using a hardware cheat, because it's hard to know if somebody's just freakishly good at the game or if it's something in their hardware cheating for them. Because like, for example, let's use fighting games. One of the reasons why like cheating in fighting games rarely happens, is because usually cheating in a fighting game would cause severe desync issues. But number two, it's because it's kind of hard to tell when somebody's cheating in a fighting game, because it's like, yo, there are a lot of people that can react to like things they see / hear on a TV screen or through their headphones or whatever in a game in real life in 3 frames. There's a lot of people who play fighting games that have extremely fast reaction speeds. This shit up here is scary. One second. There are a lot of people in real life that have extremely fast reaction speeds. So like you can't tell if somebody's using like one of the level 9 CPU bots in a game. You can't tell. Same thing with these type of games. You can't tell if somebody's freakishly good or if they're using hardware cheats. It's pretty hard to tell. So that's one of those things where it's like you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and there's concrete that's instant dry is being poured over you. So every time you break out of that concrete and from in between that rock and that hard place, you go up, boom, stuck into another rock and a hard place, and then the metaphorical concrete just starts getting poured again as they try and take time to figure out new ways to cheat. Because as large as this community is, there's always going to be cheaters, and they can do but so much. Cheaters are already offering cheats to go beyond what our team has been working on for the future suite of tools that use AI to find and fight cheaters. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not gonna work, and they're gonna use this system and they're gonna cut it off really quickly, because what's gonna happen is, like I said, there's gonna be people who are just extremely freakishly good at these type of programs, and they're going to get banned because they're freakishly good, and they're going to get punished for being too skilled. Another example I can think of, it just entered my head, but then it left. It just entered my head and it left. Fuck. Wait, let me reread what I just read. Use AI to find and fight cheat. I had an example in my head, but whatever. Cheat developers can't hide player behavior. Yes, they can. How people play, the legit, the phony, the good, and the bad gives us information, and we use it to build ways to pick those bad folks out of a lineup, Activision explained. We already have data from cheaters, but to help find out profiles for those god tier players, we examine the data from the Call of Duty League. So I gotta be a fucking ranked player to be good? Man, fuck y'all. What if I'm just naturally amazing at this game and I don't give a fuck about competing? I'm gonna get banned because I'm not ranked in the Call of Duty League? Fuck out of here. Where every match is recorded and every stat is preserved. There's more in progress around what we're doing with AI beyond behavioral models, and as work continues, we'll share what we can. A lot has been put into Black Ops 6 to upgrade the security, but here is the goal we're targeting. We want to catch and remove cheaters within the hour of them being in their first match. They still get to thrive and survive for a match, because what if you're also using a VPN and hiding your device ID, and you have like a burner account that you're running the game through? Or what if you're not even connected through the servers, through the proper like server connections? What if you're like manually connecting to that shit through your machine, which is a thing people can do, and people who relentlessly cheat for whatever fucking reason do. So it's like, this is what I mean when I say you can think as hard and as fast as you want. There's always going to be some random motherfucker that outthinks you or just has a bright idea at the right time, right after yours. Activision calls this metric time to action, which it's all blah blah blah. I don't give a fuck about what you're saying. What was the quote? The people behind cheats are organized. That is a fact. Illegal groups that pick apart every piece of data within our games to look for some way to make cheating possible. And there's one thing I always say when it comes in terms of like systems and stuff like that. Just like you have a passion, like, just speaking to the developer side, and even if you're a developer watching this, listen up. Just because you're just how you're passionate enough to sit there and make a program that you want to run butter smooth and you want to run in the greatest way possible, just like you have a passion for creating systems, there are equally people passionate about sitting down and breaking those systems, whether it be cheaters, glitch hunters, speedrunners, so on and so forth. There are different people that for whatever reason just want to see what are the flaws of said game. Because for example, The Legend of Zelda is supposed to, let's say, take 20 hours to beat, there's people who are speedrunners that have, over the years, whichever one was on the game tube, I think that was Ocarina of Time. Let's say the game is supposed to take 20 hours to beat. Over time, people have got it to the point to where they beat the game in 3 freaking minutes by doing a bunch of weird random shit that you could only discover by mistake. Like, they'll be like, oh, you gotta go here, face this corner, shoot the corner, jump 3 times, switch your weapons, and in the middle of switching your weapons, press switch weapons again, and you'll phase through the wall. You can walk around to this restricted room that triggers, and during this live in-game, in-engine cutscene that you can only get to by beating the final boss, and you could beat the game. This method takes 3 minutes to complete. So, like they're saying, what they're saying is true. These people behind these cheats and stuff like that are very, very organized, and just as much as they're trying to make a system that works, there are people who are dedicated to breaking the system, whether it be because they feel like their e-penis isn't big enough, or because they realize they could get a fucking bag doing this and they know how to do it. These bad guys are not just some script kiddies poking around with code they find online. They are a collective who profit from, which is what I said, that the reason why these cheats will never stop being made is because you motherfuckers keep buying them. And again, if it flies, then it don't applies. There are a collective who profit from exploiting this hard work of game developers across the industry. But cheat developers are flawed. Clearly, they have to pretend to be good at video games. Every time they cheat, we have breadcrumbs behind. This is also a true thing, but I would kind of counter that with the fact that it's like, yeah, they're always gonna cheat, but it's like, all right, so the best way I can explain it is what I call the scammer's dilemma. So whenever people are scamming and they're scammers, one thing that's common in that community, so to speak, by the way, this information is purely for educational purposes. If your dumbass takes this information I'm about to tell you and you try to use it to commit crimes, you're the fucking idiot for listening to me say everything I'm about to say and still trying to commit crimes like a fucking dipshit. Anyway, now that I said that, what happens in the little scamming world, little scamming community, is the way they try to do things is they'll go and they'll hit a play, commit a scam or commit fraud, and they'll do that particular method of scam or fraud until it gets patched, meaning it doesn't work. That term comes from like video games. For example, let's say, I don't know, you could, in a video game, let's say there's a move where when you use it, the whole game just freezes up and it hard locks the game. And it doesn't soft lock, it hard locks the game and makes it so that the only way you can continue to play the game, crash the game, that's what I was looking for. It hard crashes the game, and the only way you could continue playing the game is if you restart it, right? If the developer releases a patch to fix that method of crashing the game, your reliable method to crashing the game was patched. Same thing with scamming and fraud. Let's say you use a method called the 1, 2, 3 ABC method. If whoever you're doing a 1, 2, 3 ABC method is on, let's say, I don't know, Chase Bank. If you're doing a 1, 2, 3 ABC method on Chase Bank and they figure out how that method works and how people have been getting over on them, they put protections in place, they put systems in place so that the next person, or when this person comes back to do it again, they get caught red-handed. The way that that whole world works is you always have to stay ahead of the curve. You always have to know when they patch the method, which unless you're working on from the inside, you'll never fucking know when they patch the method. You have to know when they patch the method and when to go to the next method and what the next method is. Basically, you have to stay ahead of a curve that never stops moving. Eventually, you use a method when it's been patched because you don't know, or you get set up with a fake method by somebody who's selling methods and you get caught. I say that to say, same thing happens with this whole cheater thing, this whole Call of Duty thing. They could use these cheat methods until it gets patched. And when this cheat method gets patched and they get caught, all they do is they go back and they use a new method. And they try and stay ahead of the curve, but they get caught again, use a new method. Get caught again, use a new method. It's like a rush of adrenaline for people that do that. All they can do is try and do their best to discourage cheating in the best ways that they can figure out. And I think banning them within an hour, I personally think that's too fucking long. But from a person who understands that it's not easy to develop games, like there's some people who believe developing games just goes, but that is not the case. They actually have to sit down and problem solve and work through everything that they're doing. So as a reasonable person, I can say that that's a reasonable time. I would prefer for it to be faster though. They shouldn't even be able to get into a game at all. But again, that's asking them to be God. I'm not finna do that. We're always looking for those breadcrumbs to find the bad actors and get them out of the game. I agree. Like I said, in an ideal world, they would never be able to boot up the game. But that's not always the situation, because there's even situations where, going back to the method patch thing where I was talking about, what about somebody who's freakishly good at the game or whatnot? I remember one of my friends, Lord Heck, what he used to do is use this program called Rewazd, which basically would allow it so that you can set up your he would set up his Joy-Cons to be able to play, what is it? Like just different FPS games. I don't remember the one that was popular at the time besides the finals. Oh, Warzone. Fuck. How did I forget Warzone's name? And we're talking about Call of Duty. Whatever. But he would play stuff like Warzone, the finals, Valorant, so on and so forth with Nintendo Switch controllers. And the way he would do that was by using a program called Rewazd. Now, Call of Duty banned that program because there was a lot of people that, again, this is what I was talking about with the hardware level cheating thing, that were using this program as a part of their system to cheat. But the bad thing about this is basically what they did is they metaphorically shot into a crowd full of people saying, if you're over there, you're likely to be a cheater. But the innocent people in this metaphor that got shot in a crowd was people with disabilities who have to use alternative methods of input because maybe they're not able to use mouse and keyboard and stuff like that, and whatever they're using, because it's such a strange and like niche device that probably like 100 people in the world even give a fuck about, let alone maybe 60 of those 100 people will ever, I mean, not 60, like 40 of those people out of that 100 that even give a fuck and know it exists can actually really use. Since it has no support, they have to use secondary programs as like a layer in between, like a middleman, like a Rewazd. So people with disabilities were basically locked out of playing the game because they banned something that cheaters use to cheat. So it's one of those things where it's like, you can do everything you can, but at the end of the day, you could do but so much without hitting an innocent bystander, because there's no exact way for them to target exact people and get them out of here every time. That's why I said in an ideal world, it would be as soon as they boot the game up, but that's not always going to be the case. Anyway, and even with the whole Rewatch situation, like a week later, niggas found a program that did the same shit. So it's like, what the fuck did you really do besides take the popularity off of Rewazd and put it onto somebody else? You know, it's like all you did was change the devil from 12 Helvetica font to 13 Times New Roman font. It still says the same exact shit. Anyway, I think this is good news. I always love to see Call of Duty trying their best to try and get hackers and to try and get all types of hackers and cheaters out of the game and try and keep their players safe. Now, if only they could consistently make a good game that keep those people safe on. Anyway, now that we're done talking about good games, let's talk about something sad. In a game that I wouldn't necessarily call good, but I wouldn't necessarily call bad. It's not necessarily a 6 out of 10. It's more so of an 8 out of 10. That's not for me personally. Despite releasing a popular demo this summer, Fallout 1 Remake mod, Fallout Vault 13, which for those of you who are Fallout fans, or for those of you who aren't Fallout fans that are watching, Vault 13 is basically the first Vault that Fallout happened in. Like the first Fallout game, that's where it all started, Vault 13. I personally, big 111, that's my Vault. but Vault 13 is where the first vault you were in and that you experienced in the first Fallout game, and that's your main vault. But apparently there was somebody making a mod to recreate that game in a 3D style, and now the development is suspended. I really want to see a trailer. I just more so wanted to announce that and see if there's a trailer. Let's see, Fallout Vault 13. I should have went on YouTube and looked beforehand. Okay, let's speed her. I'm gonna mute it and then speed around their showcase, because I don't know what kind of music they're playing and I kind of don't give a fuck.
My name is Cullen.
Oh wait, they're talking.
Project co-lead for Fallout Vault 13.
Let's put it on 1.5 and I'll watch a couple minutes to see what they talk about.
Scenes from the past year on a bunch of really cool stuff. And today,
do they have real captions?
Joining me today, I have Giblib, the other project co-lead. Say hi, Giblib.
Hey, I'm Giblib. We are really excited to finally show
Hello, Giblib.
up to this past
That just sounds like some Smiling Friends type shit.
A separate gameplay-only version will be in the description. Now, without further ado, let's get to it.
All right, let's see what y'all got. What y'all cooking with?
Starting out, I wanted to give a little background information about what our project is and what we're trying to do. So Fallout Vault 13 is a mod for Fallout 4 that aims to recreate the original Fallout game in 3D.
Okay, that's fair. Because the next thing I was about to say is I actually went back and played the original Fallout game, which y'all could go somewhere on my fucking channel. But I played the original Fallout, and I'm not gonna lie, that shit is ass. Now, one thing I will always say is I am a fan of the Fallout lore, never the gameplay. Every Fallout game has gameplay to me that sucks. 4 is just my favorite because it's the most bearable actual gameplay. Don't ever ask me to play 1. Don't ask me to play 2, because 2 is just one with a different story. Don't ask me to play 3. I played it. I don't give a fuck. I didn't even decide if the town blew up or not. Didn't give enough fucks to get that far in the game. I played 4 more than once. Got frustrated. Didn't want to beat it. I'm not touching 76 again. Last time I tried to play 76, the shit didn't even fucking work. And the game's a 6 out of 10 that nobody cares about.
Think of our project as something along the lines of Fallout 4 Project Arroyo or Fallout 4 New Vegas.
What the fuck? Why would I want to play New Vegas in Fallout 4? Why wouldn't I just go play New Vegas like every fucking Fallout fan begs me to do? Play Fallout New Vegas! Fuck you, no. Wait.
The things you might notice in this gameplay
Where's the rats?
locations we explore might have a slightly different layout or design compared to Fallout 1. Just so you know, we made these changes on purpose. While the original Fallout game sets the gold standard for how atmospheric video games can be, maintaining this atmosphere in 3D can be quite a challenge.
Yeah, if anything looks unfinished, out of
That's fair.
missing right now, just know that everything you see
Nah, the rats.
nearly everything will be tweaked significantly before release.
On release, that's not happening. Does bats exist? Wait, are they using the special system? Because I don't think that was in the first game, unless I'm bugging. And can you respec at any time like in the first game?
Adding skill checks to certain places. If you can perform a certain...
Wait, adding what?
13 is in 3D. We'll be taking some creative liberties and adding skill checks to certain places. If you can perform a certain interaction in the original Fallout, you'll be able to in this mod. However,
okay,
additional options for role players and to make some skills a little more meaningful. For example, take this lock gate here. You can use your lockpick skill to unlock the gate, or you can pass a perception check where you spot some loose hinges on the gate and detach it. If neither of those options work for you, you could maybe find a key to get through as well.
Okay, so in terms of like Fallout gameplay, this looks good because this looks like modern Fallout, but just the first game in 3D or whatnot. I don't like the fact that you just walk out the vault and they expect you to know that shit. Like, I felt like it would have been better if there was like a sign saying key needed, like just something saying like, hey, bruh, you gotta find the key. You gotta find the key to pick the lock. Like a little tutorial text on screen, maybe the main character saying, maybe there's a key somewhere, or maybe I could pick it. Like, you know, just something, bro, something. Okay, we get it. Typical Fallout, you're walking.
Full release. For now, it's time to turn our attention to the main focus of the showcase, Shady Sands.
Okay, let's go.
Welcome to Shady Sands.
Excuse me?
Good day. I'm called Seth. How can I help you? Information? What do you want to know about?
Damn.
Sands is a peaceful...
What the fuck? I just walked into town and this nigga's willing to give me a history lesson? What kind of shit is this? Oh nah, this nigga a tattletale. Do not hang around Seth. Fuck Seth. All my homies hate Seth. Shoot that nigga. Oh wait, can't kill main characters in Fallout 4.
Those damn rat scorpions have been after our Brahmin since we moved here. Not a week goes by that someone doesn't get poisoned trying to keep them out of the pens. Last week, they took my brother Jarvis. Raslo, our doctor.
Yep, just niggas just casually talking about how his brother got clapped. Typical Fallout storytelling, man. I love it. But yeah, I'm not gonna watch further because y'all probably don't give a fuck, and this shit is long as hell. But it doesn't look bad in terms of like the way that Fallout gameplay typically looks. It doesn't look bad. Let me see if let me read their announcement and see if they're saying they're suspending development forever or if it's just a temporary suspension. Wait, hold up. What they saying? Actually discussed it that mods that aim to bring the old games into 3D never get finished. You guys might as well have that's just somebody being a dipshit. After much careful thought and deliberation, we decided to officially suspend development. This was not an easy decision. I know this may come. Despite this, we are incredibly proud of what we accomplished so far. While active development is ending, we want to ensure that all the work we've done sees the light of day. In the coming weeks, okay, so basically he's saying, hey gang, I'm not gonna hold you. There's no point in finishing this shit. But at the end of the day, we gonna give you what we already did, and we're just letting you know and keeping it a buck with you. Basically, they're saying, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, gang. I ain't do shit. Not gonna lie to you, but I'll give you what I did so far. While active development is stopping, it includes all unfinished content. This release will allow the community to experience the project in its current form and serve as a foundation for anyone interested in continuing building upon it in the future. So basically, they released the shit out into the wild and said, we're not capable of properly finishing this shit, but if you want to, be my guest. I don't give a fuck. This release will allow community to experience the project in its current form and serve as we are planning to upload this build to Nexus mods. While this may mark the end of active development, it's not the end of our journey together. Down the line, we are planning to release a retrospective that will take a look. Basically, they say, hey, in a little while, we'll talk about our experiences, what we learned, what we like, and stuff like that for people who are more into the development. To the amazing community that has been with us through everything, we want to offer your deepest gratitude. Your support is what keeps this project alive. That's basically them saying, yo, shout out to fans. What else? Why was developed 13? Fallout 13 was suspended. Combination of factors, including burnout. Basically, they said we making this shit for free and it's taking up too much of our lives for something that we're not getting paid for. I just summarized that whole comment. I've seen this type comment before. Not gonna lie, it's sad to see, but it's a mod at the end of the day. They're not making money off of it, so it's kind of hard for them to like continue developing a mod that, like they said, they're getting burnt out on and stuff like that if they're not making money off of it, which is the same fucking thing that these Overwatch developers should do, but they actually make money off of it. Case in point, there's some Overwatch fans that think Reinhardt's My Hero Academia skin is pay to win, bro. I'm getting better with these transitions. Y'all can clap it up for me in the fucking comments. Give me a W in the comments, nigga. Give me a W in the chat. I need to pop out to my streams, twitch.tv/QaptainSlander. Give me a fucking W. But some Overwatch 2 fans think Reinhardt's My Hero Academia skin is pay to win. First off, I want to see the skin. Okay, let's read this Reddit post. The newest skin for Reinhardt is either bugged or completely pay to win since it doesn't have an ultimate voice line for him or the enemy. That sounds like a glitch. Hey, get my gov out of there. Fuck was you doing? That sounds like a glitch, not gonna lie. Even worse, it's supposed to have a unique voice line in this hammered down highlight. Okay, so basically it's glitchy. Basically, if you buy the skin and use it before they update and patch this out, it's a fucking glitch. It's that shit I'll be talking about. The developers of this fucking game are missing basic shit. And Overwatch 1, this would have never fucking happened. And if it did, it would have got fixed same day, bro. Blizzard, I'm listening to Play Nice now. One thing I'm doing is I'm definitely going over that Play Nice book. And that book is fun as hell to listen to right now. Because like one of the funniest things I heard from that book is the fact that the way that Blizzard used to be managed is they used to do something called management by chaos, which basically they would argue, tussle, yell at each other, call each other slurs, and even physically fight until they can make decisions about the company. Now me, as an igno nigga, that just sounds funny as hell. Like, imagine you at work and you disagree with somebody and they say, so what's up, nigga? So what's up, nigga? Run that 3-0. Yo, who got a timer? Run the trade zip. Somebody count down through the trade. Like, imagine, bro. Imagine you're at a board table and somebody calls a trade zip on you. Somebody calls a 6-0 on you. Like, Nick, you gotta look around like, what kind of jail shit is you on, bro? Fuck you mean we gotta throw hands because we can't decide if we want to name, if we want this dungeon right here to give you 30% XP or 20% XP. Like, what you mean we gotta run the hands? I mean, I'm not pussy. I'm just saying, why we got, like, imagine being at work and you have to do that. Anyway, let's move on to something about a game that's actually good and that's not being milked like a motherfucker, that being Space Marines 2. But specifically, we're talking about Amazon's we're talking about the Warhammer 40k level in the TV show, animation TV show, Secret Level. So for those of you who aren't aware, I'm not finna make you aware. Go watch the trailer. But I was lying a second ago. I will give you a quick rundown. Basically, the idea of Secret Level is it's gonna be an anthology series that's not gonna have any specific overarching story. It's gonna be an anthology series where it takes place in multiple different video games and multiple different animation styles. And I remember hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, never be afraid to correct me in the comments if I say some shit that doesn't make sense or something that's wrong. But correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's made by the same studio that made Love, Death, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots personally wasn't my cup of tea, but I looked at the animation for it and I watched the episode and I was like, this is not for me, but this don't look bad. In a post on the Warhammer Community Games Workshop pointed out that executive producer and supervising director Dave Wilson was responsible for one of the first ever... I thought my shit was ringing. Was responsible for one of the first ever Warhammer animations, the iconic opening to the original Warhammer 40k Dawn of War RTS game. That opening cinematic is now 20 years old. It is hugely popular among the Warhammer 40k fans and is often held up as one of the best 40k animations ever created. Perhaps, okay, I'm really starting to not give a fuck. Reason why I wanted to read this article is because I saw a headline, and it's probably in here somewhere. I'll leave it on screen, but it's probably in here somewhere. I heard apparently you have to finish the story of Space Marines 2 and before you watch the episode. I just wanted to say that as a general heads up because I thought people who were into Space Marines would find that interesting. So when this show does come out and you get excited and see that there's a Warhammer episode coming on, pause and go, wait, before I watch this episode, did I beat Space Marines 2? If the answer is no, the next question you ask, do I care if this has spoilers or if this episode doesn't make sense because I didn't beat it? And you got to figure out with yourself if you're okay with that. Just wanted to put that information out there and let people know. But to go from one Amazon show that's probably going to be a hit, let's go to an Amazon show that definitely was a hit. Fallout 2024. So I watched this show in its entirety a while ago, and I said all the people that were saying this is the greatest fucking show ever, this is one of the top video games adaptations in all of history, arguably maybe even the best, I had to say I fucking agree with them. This shit is actually good. As a person who's a fan of Fallout lore, not so much gameplay, I understood all the references to the gameplay, like when Cooper the Ghoul was using a VAT system when he was having a shootout. And the way I'm saying it, unless you've seen the show, you're not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. And when you see the show, until you get to that scene, you're not gonna know what I'm talking about. But when Cooper the Ghoul was having that shootout, when he was trying to go get something from Lucy, he was clearly using a VAT system. I didn't peep that until somebody pointed it out to me, but it was a clear reference to the VAT system. And if you look at the different characters' traits and pair them up with the special system, each of them have different builds based on stats you could get in the different Fallout games. So it's certain things like that that I noticed after like watching breakdowns and stuff like that, breaking down the references after like watching the show in its totality, that made me agree that this show is legitimately good. Even if you're not in a Fallout, this show is still good, which a lot of video game adaptations need to do more of. Just because you're making an adaptation of the game, that don't mean you need to just suck off and suck up to the fans of the game. You should make a good show first. Then it'll, like, if you make a good show first and foremost, it will end up being a good video game adaptation. Because as long as you have people in that writing room and in like the creative process, not just the writing room, but as long as you have people who actually played the game and who actually have expert level knowledge on the game and the creative process, and you quell their like their overexcitement to get something based on the game, to make sure this shit isn't just oh, you have to have played the game to understand this, you could get something pretty cool to come out of it. For example, this Fallout series. Allegedly, season 2 has already started filming a lot sooner than expected. Now, to me, I could see there could be a scenario where this is a red flag looking back on it. I don't really see anything wrong with them filming this soon. This is keep yourself on guard, keep yourself on high alert. This isn't necessarily a red flag. This is more of like you see them in the distance. It's a little bit dark and they far away. You see them in the distance with a flag. You don't know what color it is, but you just see them with a flag. You don't know if it's red, because hindsight is 2020. And like I said, you saw them in the distance. It's real dark. You saw they had a flag, but you couldn't tell what color it was. Let's skim through and see if there's any anything interesting. On its release in April, it quickly became a hit. Don't give a fuck. It was renewed for a second season that same month, with the showrunner later stating that the Fallout team was going to be pedal to the metal to get season 2 out as fast as humanly possible, which makes me scared because, as I always say, whenever your company creates something that's legitimately great, you can't rush greatness. Don't rush to be the first greatest thing, greatest person to drop greatness every 200 seconds. That's how you end up with an iPhone situation where most of the fucking phones that they're dropping don't mean a damn thing. Don't rush greatness. If it takes you 2 years to get us a new season, that's fine. A lot of the people that beg for that go, oh, it's been a year, where the new season at, are people that don't give a fuck and they're gonna complain anyway. People who are actually fans of the quality things you make are willing to wait. Now, there is such a thing as waiting too long, but with the TV show of this magnitude that did this fucking well, don't rush it. The reason why it was good is because for the first season, you had no pressure. Nobody knew what was gonna happen. It came out. People was like, oh damn, this is good. I fuck with it. So now it's gotten praise. Now you're not operating from a place of let's make something good. You're now operating from a place of let's make something as good as season 1. People have way higher expectations. Don't rush to film it. Take your fucking time. Don't let the corporations slap their dick on your shoulder as they bend over to look at your work and say, how long is it until it's done? Because all they want is something that's done that makes money. They don't give a fuck about the quality. They just give a fuck if it makes money or not. So don't let them smack their dick on your shoulder while they're looking over your shoulder. Tell them to back up, give me some space, and let the creatives creative. Okay? Let the creatives creative. Anyway, we've got a lot of heavy lifting from season 1 already done. I don't know how I feel about that. We have sets, assets, visual effects. If they use similar locations, I'm fine with that. But y'all definitely need to introduce some new locations, because these motherfuckers should not be going back to Shady Sands after that shit already fell. Like, bro, y'all, I'll accept a couple scenes out of that, but it's like, bro, go somewhere new. Don't tease us with New Vegas and then have 10 episodes that are an hour each, and across all 10 of those episodes we get 20 minutes of spread out footage across 9 episodes. Like, don't give us 20 minutes out of 9 hours of New Vegas footage. If that's what y'all do, y'all are going to be severely fucked. Unless y'all find some type of workaround. But I'm just saying, y'all better have at least an episode's worth of footage dedicated to New Vegas. Whether it's just the first episode they visit there and leave, or whatever the fuck, it better be a reference to it. Even if they go in an anthology type of approach and they explore some other like some other characters' stories in the same setting, I'm fine with that. I actually would prefer that, because then y'all don't have a standard to live up to. For more, show relationship with games, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so not much news in here, but I just wanted to say this is a flag. I don't know if it's green. If it's a green flag saying they're able to make this banger quick as fuck and will be eaten very soon, or if it's a hindsight, damn, why didn't I see that red flag? Hopefully it's a green one that, like I said, they in the distance. Hindsight was 2020 and I just can't see it. But going from talking about a streaming service from a company that has all too much power, making too many banger shows back to back, let's talk about this shit again. The Chik-Fil-A streaming service has been named Chik-Fil-Play and will launch on the 18th of November. So how many days until this potential future Chik-Fil-A flop drops? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in 7, that's 14 plus 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 weeks. 14, 21, then 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in 28 days, Chik-Fil-A drops their new streaming service called Chik-Fil-Play. Now, there's a lot of companies that can do the most random shit ever and it end up being a successful and impactful part of an industry that they have not a goddamn thing to do with, if you think about it off rip. For example, a lot of people don't know that the Guinness World Book of Records was originally made by Guinness Beer. Or for example, if you ever wondered where the fuck the Michelin standard came from for a restaurant, saying, oh, this restaurant is a 5-star. Wait, what is it? Wait. I gotta look up what is the max. What is the max amount of yellow stars a restaurant can get? Okay, 3. So the Michelin standard, the Michelin star standard, originally came from the actual tire company Michelin. You know, the Michelin man, the fat dude with the white bubbly shit. Yeah, him. So the Michelin standard originally came from the Michelin man. The Michelin standard originally came from the Michelin company, basically trying to tell people how worth it is it to wear down your tires to drive to this restaurant. And they would give them a score of 0 to 3. 0 means you shouldn't even walk to this restaurant. 3 means it don't matter if you have to drive across Europe, Asia, you have to drive over the damn Uru Mountains. You got to go to the top of Olympus, jump from the top of Olympus to the top of the Mount Caucasus with your fucking car. It don't matter how far you have to drive. This restaurant is really, really worth driving to. That's what 3 Michelin stars mean. That's how that whole standard, that whole rubric was created. Just to give y'all an insight on why I'm saying this. So you never know. This shit could be something that's a hidden banger, but we'll see. But the thing that makes me think this shit is going to be a future flop, now I could be wrong, and I don't give a fuck if I'm wrong or not. I could be wrong, but they said this service will launch with a collection of original animated shows, which is a good thing. They have original IPs putting forth, scripted podcasts. I'm not personally into podcasts too much, but I'm definitely not in a scripted podcast. I don't see the fun in that. This is not 1902. Nobody wants to hear stories about Captain America with somebody in the background punching a big ass dead skinned cow to make fucking sounds while 2 actors go, oh, bang, biff, hey, Bucky, on your left, get that one. No, nobody wants to hear that shit in 2024, nigga. We got all types of CGI, TV, video games. We're past the point of watching somebody do something and imagining we're that person. We're at the point to where we could put on a VR headset and fully trick our brains into being that person. So scripted podcast, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking with that one. I could be asleep though, and it could be a whole scene of people that love scripted podcasts, but yeah, hell no. Cooking shows, which makes sense, Chick-Fil-A, and interactive stories. That one is a little bit interesting, but I feel like it's not going to be as interesting as it sounds. Anyway, I just wanted to put this on your radar and say either we're going to see the biggest come up possible in real time, or we're going to see a future. Why the fuck did you even think this shit was going to rock in the future? It's going to be interesting to watch. It really is. Next thing we're talking about, speaking about something else that would be interesting to watch, Tom Holland hopes the MCU introduces Miles Morales. Now, the YouTube video, just to show y'all, goes to this long ass 1 hour video. I'm not finna watch all that. Maybe they linked the article. Nope, they didn't link the article. But it goes to this long ass video. But basically, the quote that they're pointing out is Tom Holland said, "I'd love to do for a young kid what Robert Downey Jr. did for me." Now, for those of y'all who may not be familiar with what the fuck he's talking about, basically, in Spider-Man 2, I think it was. I'm not sure. But in Spider-Man 2, and in the MCU in general, they put together Tony Stark and Spider-Man because in the original comics, they had a good dynamic and they had good chemistry with each other for the simple fact that they, that like, Spider-Man would idolize somebody like Tony, being that Tony's like a super genius billionaire with all this tech and these cool inventions under his belt and stuff like that. He's even such a crazy inventor. This nigga was about to die and he borderline invented a new heart for himself that was an energy source that just fixed up his whole body till he got to the point to where he could surgically like get the shrapnel that was in his heart removed and just have his regular heart and just use that shit to house his technology and do all this other cool stuff with it. So if you never read the comics for Miles Morales and Peter Parker, basically, or if you just didn't watch Spider-Verse, because Spider-Verse is pretty close to the comics, what happens in one version of Spider-Verse / Miles Morales story is he gets mentored by Peter Parker himself. Now the mainline version, if you read comics, Peter Parker is dead. That's what inspired him. But there's a version where even after Peter Parker is dead, Peter Parker comes to the ultimate timeline, well, the secondary ultimate timeline, and teaches this, what is this nigga's name? Miles the way. And being that, well, whatever the fuck the last name of the last Spider-Man movie is, I don't know. I watched this shit in high school. But being that the last one, oh wait, no, I think I watched that after high school. I don't know. Whenever the last Spider-Man movie came out, it was, oh yeah, no. Because I remember I was theorizing about that shit having something to do with WandaVision and Loki. And Loki was like 2021. Anyway. Point is, he's saying, if y'all haven't been paying attention, Tom Holland has been saying, I enjoyed my time as a Spider-Man role, but it's like, goddamn, I as a creative, I don't want to do the same shit forever. I don't want to do the same shit for 100,000 years until the end of goddamn time. I just don't. I just don't give a fuck. I don't care anymore. Not like completely I don't care, but he's like, yo, I'm tired. It's like, for example, when you play a video game that's 300 hours long, you know, after hour 310, you might go like, hey bro, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate this game. It's not fuck this game. I'm just tired of it. I'm gonna play something else now. I played this game for 300 hours. That's a very long time. He's just saying he wants to, he's been saying he wants to pass down the mantle of one of the most important characters in the timeline for the MCU / Sony. I agree. I want to see a live action Miles Morales. Because I really want to see them weirdo loser go woke go broke niggas. I really want to see them try and attack this movie and try and make it fail and it succeed anyway, because Miles is just that fucking popular. Anyway, moving on from talking about how popular Miles is, let's talk about how popular this woman's video about Lunchly versus Lunchables is. Now, I don't give a fuck about the actual article because I scrolled through this article. I didn't read it. I scrolled through to make sure it had the fucking video in it. And it did. It had the tweet that summarizes it. And if this video is too long, I'm gonna just go to the tweet.
This is mold.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that in my personal time. 20 minutes, fuck no. As soon as I get off stream, I'm watching that. But as you probably see all over the screen, Lunchly has been recently getting clowned and called Moldly. And this video is going to show you why.
That's mold.
Oh, well, yeah, that. But it was, nah, it wasn't this clip. It was a different clip. No, it was her page. Let me see. She's a content creator.